That is a lot of construction work to be doing. But I'm excited about it. I'm really excited about it. Monetarily speaking, I mean, look at this. Plus 27,000. Plus 27,000. That's ridiculous. That's with all these large flights coming in. And with everything being scheduled. And apparently there's some planes. Why are you not? Where are you? What was that flight? FA-143. FA-143 is there. So it was still gearing up to take off. That's not ideal. I feel like that's a definite sign that we need more runways. That's definitely what that is. But we'll not worry too much about it just yet. We're making ridiculous money. That's what's important. Now let's go ahead and say that we want all of our contractors to be deployed so that we can go ahead and start construction on this new giant building. And I think the goal here, I think my goal is pretty much what it was. You know, one big international airport and one big terminal building. That's pretty much the plan. I'm also going to go to foundations and I'm going to basically just do this. Which is kind of expensive. I'm well aware. But that's fine. That's totally fine. So let's see. Would we want to do... We'd probably want to take some bits out here, wouldn't we? So we want to do a 2x5 chunk out of this corner. Like that. And then we want to do some walls just there. So that now lines up fine. And then this bit's going to be filled in and all that stuff. So that's fine. That'll be perfectly fine. That's a big enough area for a new security space too. To go into walls, tear that wall out. And let's get this built. Let's get this new giant one terminal thing built. Because it's going to look kind of nuts. And I'm kind of really excited to see it. Now, FA-422 is running late. That's going to be you. What are you waiting for? Boarding in progress. It seems that boarding is the issue, which is making me think that my biggest issue is security. Basically, I think security is slow, which is causing people to get to their flight late, basically. And I believe the medium-sized security thing here, medium-sized security checkpoint, is able to handle these two medium terminals, no problem. Or medium gates. I think the issue is just the number of small flights that we're pushing through a relatively small security area. Which is a shame, but it's fixable. It is totally something that we can fix. So we're not going to stress too much about that. Not at the minute, anyway. We might want to stress about it at some point, but right now I'm really not going to stress about it. The only thing I'm interested in is getting this all built and maybe starting to look... I mean, I'm looking at our money and I'm thinking that we are in a position where we probably could afford to either start building some small gates over here and basically build a second airport on the left here, or we get another medium gate. The only concern is that we are, I think, at the limit of what this airport can handle. So I'm not entirely sure that another medium gate is a good idea. So I think for the time being, we can maybe just wait. I think that's going to be for the best. There are so many flights that are queued up to take off here. Are we doing all right? Yeah, we've got all these Maple flights coming in now. You guys are all queuing up to take off. We have a Maple flight coming in there. We are back up above $400,000. Oh my god, there's so many planes gearing up to take off here. One comes in, one goes out. That's what we're seeing. Large flight moving out there, no problem. Last large flight of the day. I have to say, though, it seems like the airport handled Thursday pretty well. It really does seem like the airport did a fantastic job with that really, really busy Thursday. And most of the airlines are relatively happy with me, except for Swiftly. We have a lot of offers for flights from all these different airlines. So that's a good sign, I suppose. I'm just so concerned about the size of what we're building here. I really am. And I'm just wondering, what way are we gonna do check-in here? You know, what way is check-in gonna have to work? Because what I'm thinking is we probably want to go into, let's see here, economy, procurement. We want to get more advanced things. So the tilt tray is going to be important because that will basically push the luggage wherever it needs to go. This is a defense against contraband. I don't know if I want that. I don't know if we need that. Food franchises still haven't been unlocked. I guess we'll try it again and see what happens. It's obviously kind of expensive, but I'm not too stressed about that. I think basically we're in a situation where we are going to need to have a relatively advanced system for baggage handling, because we are going to need multiple baggage handling services. I think that's pretty much a given at this point. And I believe all you guys are going to start heading towards the staff room, which is perfectly fine by me. So yeah, they're all going to come over and go around, and some of them are going in there. Actually, I believe most of them are going up into this staff room. Can you imagine seeing like 150 workmen just like storming through an airport into one room? One very small room at that? That would be a bit weird. You know, you land at your airport, you get off the flight, and then you're going through arrivals and just like an army of workmen just like storms straight through. It would be a bit strange. That's all I'm saying. It would be a bit strange. Now let's see here. So these are the check-in desks, right? So basically what I kind of want to do is I'd kind of like to just have plenty of room for queues. You know what we should do here? We should dismiss the workmen. We should dismiss my contractors. And when they're all gone... Oh, there goes the army again. When they are all gone, we can go ahead and start laying out what the giant check-in area... excuse me. What the giant check-in area could end up looking like. I think that's going to be a good idea. I also love the fact that the workers don't need to worry about security. They can just sort of go straight through, no problem, and no one says a thing. That's just excellent. I am thinking as well that the check-in desks themselves are probably a part of the problem. Because obviously, we are in a situation where we don't have very long queues for these things. And we don't actually have that many check-in desks either, so... I think the check-in desks are definitely a part of the problem. Let's see here. Do we have any workers left? Doesn't look like it. Looks like they've all moved out, which is fantastic. So let's go ahead and have a look at the check-in desks for this new area. So what I'm thinking we do is we have a gap there, and I think we move these up to about that spot so we can get a nice big queue on them. But we have a gap of 4. And to either side, we go for maybe 5, or we could go for 6 on either side. So 1, 2, 3, not there. 4, 5, and 6. So those are going to push in that way with the luggage and all that stuff. I think we then go ahead and... maybe space them out like this? Possibly. So that they are going to be doubled up like this. And I guess we'll see what happens with this kind of system, but I want a lot of check-in desks, you know? We want to make sure that everyone can get checked in. We want to make sure that everything works out. So we do that kind of thing. If we go into conveyor belts here, we do actually have the tilt trays, I think. No, those are underground speed. There's a tilt tray. So a tilt tray is an above ground system. So what I think we would do here is we want to go to conveyor belts. We want to go to overground. And, oh, we actually need to see these in action, don't we? Or do we? Yeah, we probably need to see these built, which is a problem. I guess the conveyors technically go right at the back of them. So right at the back of the staff area. So that one's fine there. That one's fine there. Then I believe we need to do this sort of thing. So let's just do... So you would need to go left, I believe. That's not quite right. That would go that way. And then underground. Can I do this easily? So those are going to feed underground. Like that. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. So there. And there, I believe. I really hope I'm doing this right. So like that. Yeah, that seems perfect to me. Okay, let's get these conveyor belts laid out so that I can actually properly demonstrate what it is that I want to do here. Okay, so basically all of the check-in desks are going to filter into this one track that's going to merge in here. Unfortunately, it's not central, but there's nothing I can do about that. It's going to merge in like that. And then this is going to go to a room somewhere. I don't exactly know where that room's going to be. In fact, you know what? That room can be back here. And what I want to do here actually is I kind of want to do some walls on either side of these. Just like that to separate them a little bit. And make them look kind of interesting. So some walls like that, basically. Those are going to be 100% staff areas back there, which is fine by me, but we'll do some walls like that. We could actually bring the walls forward just a little bit to make it look a little bit more interesting. So just like all of that. I'm also realizing these check-in desks are going to be red, which is a bit of a pain, but nothing I can do about that at this point. I'm not going to go and replace all of those. But what I think we'll do is we'll have a room here, which is basically where the tilt tray is going to go. And that room is going to need a medium door on it, just for the sake of construction. But what we can do is if we go back to items here, go to conveyor belts and say we want the fast underground conveyor belt. We're going to bring it all the way up into this room. And then we need a fast overground belt. Maybe not quite there. Maybe there. Let's grab those fast underground ones as well. So it comes in like that. Then it needs to go on to the tilt tray. So the tilt trays can sort of go like that. And then basically they are going to feed off of here. So we're going to go for an overground belt here. And an overground belt there. With some underground belts there and there. And then those are going to connect to the fast belts like that. So basically, we have a situation here where the luggage is all going to get fed into that room. It then goes either left or right, depending on where it needs to go. I think the option might also exist for it to go straight on if it needs to. So technically speaking, that could be a three-way junction up to another baggage area. It's not going to be that, but it could be. And then what I'm thinking we do here is if we go to structures and go to walls, we would have this continue up a bit. We'll say for $100 worth of wall there and $100 worth of wall there. We'll bring this across to about there. And to about there. And that's going to be... I was going to say that would be the way through to security, but that's actually a really bad idea. I think this is basically going to be our security area. But this room is actually going to mess with that a lot. So I'm not sure how to feel about that. I'm really not sure how to feel about that. Let's go ahead and put that wall in there. And perhaps what we do... Oh, I don't really know what to do with this, actually. Let's block that off and block that off. Maybe security... I don't really know what way to do security here. I'm really not sure what way to do security at all here. I think it does need to be up here, so I think we need to get rid of the, I think we need to get rid of the walls and everything that we've built here. Which is unfortunate, but we need the space for security, and security is kind of important. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking there. We have a decently sized security area, a lot of stations. We have everything pretty much connected up. Passengers can go through here or through the doors down here to get into that security area, should they so desire. I'm actually going to just do that to make it look a little bit more interesting around the doors. Basically, there's a lot of space, and that's kind of what we're going for. We want a lot of space in this new terminal. We are going to have some toilets down here, so we'll just get the doors onto all of that. We are going to have the staff rooms over here, so we'll get the doors on all of that as well. And that's basically going to be the check-in area for the entire airport, hopefully, assuming it actually works out. Obviously, gonna need a lot of seating space. That's kind of a big deal. We are gonna get some of that. I guess we could start looking at it immediately. We could do, you know, some seats like this, which is probably not the best way to do things, but it is at least an option. I think we'll get rid of that for the time being. Basically, we're gonna have a lot of things to work out. You know, there's a lot of potential seating space in here. Just going to be a case of figuring out what exactly to do with it. So we'll do this sort of thing. We can leave a gap there for the toilets. And we'll basically just double up with the seating the whole way across until we get to a point where we would naturally want to stop, which I think is going to be there. So let's do the same thing on this side, just with a whole bunch of seating, until we get to that point where we want to stop. And I think that looks fine. I think that'll be pretty good. We can get a bunch of seating over here as well. And we are also going to want some info screens. Now, these info screens, I think, should go pretty much front and center. In fact, let's do them like this. So as soon as you come in, you can go to an info screen. We could put one over there. I don't think that'll be a terrible idea. Although it does block a bit of queue on that check-in desk. I don't know if we want to do that. I think some info screens back there could definitely be an idea. And maybe some info screens as soon as you go through the doors into security. Just so you can see what's going on. And then possibly just before you get to security as well, in case you didn't look at the first one. And then also, as soon as you get through security, is probably not a bad place to have some info screens as well. So there we go. A whole bunch of information screens, so people can see what's going on. A whole bunch of chairs. Gonna need more chairs. But we are fine, at least for now. In fact, you know what? Get those screens out of there. Let's put them sort of front and center again. They're going to be a little bit, you know, more cramped in there, but that's fine. So yeah, that looks fine to me. None of that's going to be built at the moment, because obviously we don't want to build it just yet. But that's okay. Let's have a look at the flight planner here. So Saturday is a busy day. Sunday is less busy. So Saturday is going to be another day of profits, basically. which is totally fine. We do have a bunch of repairs needing done, though. So let's just make sure all of our stands are in prime working order here. Because if they're not, you know, things don't go well. So there's the runway fixed up as well. And I think this is going to be really good. I really think we're going to be onto a good thing here. I'm also thinking we could start looking into these areas. So this is all a staff-only area. And this is all a staff-only area as well. This is also going to be a staff-only zone. And those are bathrooms. These are staff-only zones and staff rooms, but I'm not going to zone those just yet, because if I do, I'm totally going to forget that I did it, which, I'm going to be honest, don't really want to do. Really don't want to forget that I've done a thing. So that's all staff only. That's perfectly fine. The queues are going to need to go in at some point. But let's just have a little bit of an observation of what's going on over this way. So money is proving to just not be an issue anymore. I'm also noticing that the food shop store thing is not there. Are you guys doing all right with your contract? There's 18 hours left and you're barely there. That's not ideal. Yeah, you have 19 hours left and you're barely there. A good bit of revenue, though, I'll give you that. And you actually don't have any contract yet. So let's go for a quick stop. I think we'll get a quick stop in there. Staff are going to be en route, which is fine by me. Oh, this is something we totally forgot about. We're going to need a bunch more of those laptop tables as well. Although in saying that, that entire part of the airport is going to be rebuilt. That entire part is going to need to be rebuilt. Although I'm also sort of wondering if... we maybe do want those to be like entrances to the airport. Let's try changing some of this up. Let's go ahead and take some walls out of here for a second. Just like that. Take those out as well. I think we're just going to leave that open as an entrance to security. So you just sort of go around the corner there and, you know, off to security. And the reason I want to do that is because I do sort of want to leave at least part of the airport kind of open. So if you enter there, we can have this come all the way up and like that. So that screen can go, and so can the door. So the screen goes, the door goes as well. And at that point, the seats could actually be continued across, which is pretty good news. So the seats are going to go like this, just a bit further. So that should be fine. Basically, you're going to be able to come in down here and go all the way up and around into there. Not that you're necessarily going to do that. You know, there's not really any major reason to do that, but if it's a thing that you want to do, you can do it. I'm also thinking it might be an idea to have some seating in here, so let's see if we can do anything interesting with that. If we go to there, and if we go to... let's see here. Let's actually start at this point. And we'll leave a gap of 1 between all of these, just so we can get a nice bit of seating in there. And that's basically going to be duplicated onto this side. So you can come up all around here, and then you go to your check-in desk, you go through to security, and then security is going to funnel you out onto a small section here, and you're either going to go left if you're going to this part of the terminal, or you're going to go right if you're going to this part of the terminal. And the interesting thing is we could totally get, well, maybe a bunch of small stands into like a middle area here as well. Unless we decide to do just another, you know, line of gates the whole way across some part of structure up here. Basically, there's a lot of options. And I'm kind of really excited to see which ones actually pan out here. because there's a lot to be done. And I'm kind of super excited about it. Like, really, really excited about it.